then with this, you begin to question if they even have an ideology. But in the midst of COVID-19, which has dealt with the economy of almost so many nations of the world, countries like the US, the UK, Italy, even in Nigeria, where there was lockdown for weeks because of this issue of COVID-19, and some selected few are talking about a direct primaries. One, does APC as a party has database to know the people that they are their party members, how many they are, what their wars, how and everything. Do they have
Adams
that?
Oshomole. Adams Oshomole is pressing for
A
direct
direct
primaries,
primaries
and he is the chairman, national chairman
of
of
the
APC.
APC.
So,
But the question is this: everywhere in the world, you are talking about social distancing at this point in time, and you are talking of a direct primary. You want to involve over many thousands of people for just an election in the state, endangering the lives of the people, and then not just only the people that are going to be part of that primaries that are going to be affected at the end of the day. These people have family members, they have friends that they're going to go back to. And another big question is this: how can you say these are the members of the APC? Do they have a database, or do I have it swear somewhere where they can be able to know that who and who is an APC member? This is also a plot where they can also, you remember about a year or two ago, or even 3 years ago, where they were importing talks to other certain states ahead of their election and all that. I begin to question the integrity of some people that call themselves either former governor or politicians in our country. Because you can't talk of something like this where there's no database. You understand? How can you determine who is a member of the APC? They can bring anybody from anywhere, even from the neighboring state, and register them and give them card. First of all, as a national party chairman, he has an unlimited access to amount of party card that he wants or that he needs. That's number one. And on number two again, why would you be talking of a direct primaries at this point in time? And just because you have a preferable candidate who you know that this through this thing, that's when the person can be able to come in and get the power. First of all, let's ask, we shouldn't play politics with human life. If truly we value the citizens of our state and we have the interest of the state at heart, it is not this point in time we are going to be talking. If not because, yes, they must do something, they want on an election and all that. For me, everything about an election, this was not supposed to be an election year at all. Because of a lot of things happening in the world now. You know, a lot of Nigerians, a lot of our people are ignorant. And now you want to endanger their life, mix them up with people that they don't know their health condition. They don't even know if they even have the disease, if they even have the virus. And you want to say because of power, because of everything you want to do, the ganging up. And it doesn't work that way. Things don't work that way. But calling for an indirect primaries will reduce the amount of people that will come out and will be involved on that day. This is just only a party matter, not a state affair. It's only an APC primaries now, and they are having this crisis. The question is this: I begin to ask, what is their bowl of contention with the governor? Why they are all calling for the direct primaries? They want to do this, they want to do that, they want to do this, they want to do that. They should come out and tell the whole world. Let
is
them
it
let the whole world know.
okay? Okay, is it the first time of conducting direct primaries in Edo State?
You see, in the last election, even when he was coming in as on his second term, they were able to do anything, everything that they did at that time. Nobody stepped out to contest against him because, yes, it was not the turn of Edo South because Edo South has done his 8 years. So nobody came out at that time to challenge him. But in the last election that brought Obaseki to power, it was not a direct primaries. It was an indirect primaries that only dealt with delegates. It was only the delegate, a lot of them that gathered in the stadium. The election was done in Ogbe Stadium. I remember that time when the election went into the late hours of the day, into the following day. You understand? This is the first time where they are talking about a total direct primary. They are calling everybody from everywhere. If you are talking about a direct primaries, it has to do with everybody that is part of the APC.
Okay.
You understand? Everybody that is part of the APC. Now you are going to mobilize them from their villages and everywhere, bring them to where? If it is the Ogbe Stadium, which is the biggest place we have now to do such a thing, that's what you're going to mobilize them for. Crowded place, if not for just only anything at all. Not at this point in time, we should be talking about a direct primaries at all. Not in the midst of this COVID-19.
So
Not this time.
Can you clarify us the differences between direct primaries and indirect primaries?
The direct primaries has to do with every member of the APC. Every member of the APC. Every member, every registered member of APC. I am a registered member of the APC. If you are talking about a direct primaries, then it will involve me.
Okay.
You understand? But if you are talking about indirect primaries, it has to do with some selected delegates, like the likes of maybe people like those senators, maybe some of those former senators, some of those party bigwigs, some of those them that have this political appointee now, and all of them. Those are the only people, just those selected people. Those are the people that can come out and vote. Not many. Not even up to about 10 or not even up to 5% of the membership of the APC. Just some selected people. At least you can still control that selected. You can still control that few people.
Okay.
You understand? Even ahead of the about the primaries that brought Obaseki to power. I remember when some people who was not solidly behind the now APC now national chairman, who was supporting another aspirant. A lot of them were dealt with. Some was arrested, accused for different things, and they went to prison and they did all that. And I know so many of them that was arrested at that time, just because some of them were SSA then. They were not in support of who then he was supporting Obaseki. They were not in support of Obaseki, and a lot of them was arrested. A lot of them, the ones who were not arrested, were dropped. You understand? A lot of them. So you cannot just come back now. The same man you painted to us and say, yes, you wanted this man to take over because it's not you told us that this man is not a politician because he doesn't need to, because he was always angry when people come to government house to collect money from him. The way he was giving him money was always making him angry. That Edo State cannot afford to have another politician who will also be sharing money the way he was sharing. He said that thing on camera. And that is all over Facebook, all over different social media.
He said a lot about Isaiah Yamu. A lot. I even did a review of one of the videos. He even accused Isaiah Yamu for looting some money that is under the investigation of EFCC. So he said a lot. He said Isaiah Yamu is a wicked person. He hurt a student when he was in school. There are a lot of things he said about Isaiah Yamu.
The truth of the matter, every single one of them campaigning now against the governor, I would say no one of them have the wherewithal or really mean well for us as a people. They are Edo people. You know why? Let's be very, very sincere. With all the people that are solidly behind them, the people talking in their favor on social media, the kind of people that are campaigning for them, it shows that these people will not do anything different from what the former governor did, where they empower Talks so much, where Talks, you see the kind of power he gave to Talks. That's why you can have an illiterate who took all money from different places, who was nobody. Now is now overfed, now think he's too big, can come to anywhere to insult a whole sitting governor. When you know your hands are not clean and they talk anyhow, if you watch a lot of some of their video, their main issue with Obaseki is that it doesn't recognize them as politicians. It doesn't share money. It's no longer business as usual. None of them has been able to come out to say, yes, it's not working or it's not doing this or it's not doing that. Their main challenge is that he has neglected them, the politicians. The question I now ask, does Edo State belong to the selected greedy politicians, or Edo State belongs to everybody, including you and I?
Yes, everybody.
You understand? The state is Edo State. not the selected people state. You understand? If they, you see, when I see a lot of people come out on social media, that people that stand to Shomole and they are talking about Izeyamo. If some of them are even talking for Odubu, I don't get angry. If some of them are even talking for other persons, I don't get angry. But whenever I hear them talk for Izeyamo, I get angry. I get very, very, very annoyed. Why? Over 4 years ago, Shomole came and told everybody that this is Izeyamo. And he told the whole world why he did not give him any position during his years, during his tenure of office. He said because this man is a criminal, is this. He called him so many names that Edo State cannot afford to put his money, his treasury in the hand of a criminal. Yes. Then I ask, if after this time, and you are not coming back, his followers, all of them are calling for Izeyamo. Then I ask myself, I say, come, for every Edo person that will buy into this joke, the joke of the century, to every Edo person that will buy into this joke, I see that person needs to he needs a doctor to examine his brain. Because somebody cannot come and tell you before that this person is bad, this person is this, and he said every of those things with proofs. He gave you proof, and he gave you all this. Why he himself did not even do this, did not even do that. He gave everybody the proof. And now this same person have a case before the court. 700 million naira. He has a case before the court in a sane society, in a place where things are done well. Such a person is not supposed to even be talking about election for now at all. You have a case pending in court for now as we speak, a case of corruption, close to 1 billion naira. And now this person is saying everybody are clapping to say you want to put the treasury of my state in the hand of such a person. I love him as a person. Izeyamo, I love his charisma. I love him as a person. But saying putting the treasury of Edo State for him to be the governor of Edo State, I am one of those who will never, I say it plant anywhere. I'm one of those who will never be so stupid, to buy into this joke of Oshomole, which the person you called a thief some time ago. You're not trying to bring the person to power. To do what? What is he going to do that Obaseki is not presently doing? To return the talks that Obaseki take away from the street, to return them back to the street, or to give the different community, the CDAs that they've totally driven out of different communities, to give power back to them again. Now you can go to Nigeria, buy a land and begin to build. Nobody come to ask you different levies that they used to ask you again. Nobody need to tell you now to come and buy. People ask a lot of people. They know how long it used to take to get common of hold in Edo State before. They know how long it used to take for, even after you buy a land, another person will go and sell your land again. You're going to do a lot of land issue. Look at it now for the past 3 years. Nobody is having any issue now with land issue again in Nigeria. You are not seeing community crisis again where they need to kill each other, put fire here, and burning houses every time. I know how it used to happen. I mean, at least as a journalist, I know a lot of community, a lot of those communities I went to go and cover most of these news, where there were crises every now and then. They burn houses and do a lot of things. Go to most of those communities in Saple Road, or some even off Airport Road. I know a lot of them where they even have to burn houses, that even some Odion ways and all that, some elders were beating black and blue by children who because they have so much power, they can do anything. We don't need that again in those states. Market women, nobody knows, at least the harassment on market women or harassment on people that sell in the street now is no longer the way it used to be. And now you want to bring people back. And the people really campaigning for them going on this are people who don't really have anything to tell us. Let them tell us why they are fighting governor, why he doesn't recognize politicians. It didn't settle boys we used to work. Tell those boys to go and get education. You can live life outside of politics. You cannot say you'll be in politics all your life. Politics is not a career. It is only in Nigeria you see them take politics as a career. After you serve your position, you go back to whatever thing you used to be before you became a politician. Not stuck there for life. I know some of them who have been there since 1999. they've been local government chairman, they've been commissioner, they've handled so many positions, and now they want to kill themselves. You say you're a lawyer, go back to the court. If you're a banker, go back to the banking sector. Go and get a life. Politics is not a career.
That's what Obasanjo did. After he ran as the president of Nigeria, as a military and also a democratic president, he went back and with his family. Okay,
it's a very big shame when I see a lot of these things going on in Edo State. I laugh. And we know how it used to be when you go to the states. Apart from even the communities, a lot of these market women can testify between 8 years of Oshomole and the 3 years plus of Obaseki.
Yes,
the harassment on them. Some of those market women.
The difference
of those market women.
Not just only market women. We are talking about Edo State citizens. Edo State citizens. The difference is just too clear, crystal clear to everyone. I visited Nigeria in 2013. I was outraged with what I saw. I said, is this the state where I grew up? I don't think so. When I was growing up in Edo State, nobody will harass you when you are driving through Ring Road. I was surprised that you can't drive through Ring Road at that time in 2013. Okay, where Adansi Oshiomhole ran the state with his political entourage, talks and everything, and he made sure that talks were in charge of almost 80% of the states.
Whenever I hear Oshiomhole talk, and I see people who I used to respect clapping and dancing to his tune, I begin to feel very sad. Because why? Somebody who a lot of Edo indigenes supported and bring to power based on integrity. Everybody thought that he was the Messiah. But when he got to power, he became somebody that speaks from two sides of the mouth. He will tell you something in the morning, and in the afternoon again, telling you another different thing, entirely different. Something very opposite.
And that's Oshiomhole is the problem Ize-Iyamu is having today. Because he was the one that condemned Ize-Iyamu, saying Ize-Iyamu is under the investigation of EFCC, Ize-Iyamu is evil, Ize-Iyamu is this, Ize-Iyamu is that. At the end of the day, the people are using those comments against Ize-Iyamu today.
Not the people are even using it. He came to reveal what everything Oshiomhole said. He said those things even by almost taking an oath. That he said that on the podium there during their campaign. He even took an oath. The thing is this, and he said those things with clear evidence. Let's ask, did he really went to law school? Did he really practice in his entire life as a lawyer? The question is no. Why did he practice? Oshiomhole said it. And after that's just the truth. And after that, he said he was in lucky government for the entire 8 years. They looted Edo State treasury. Let's ask again, where are this person? Where does he work that he had all this entire wealth? Nobody knows. And another thing again, does he have a case pending before the court? Yes, 700 million naira case pending before the court.
Yes.
These things he said with clear evidence, and he told the world, do these things with clear evidence. A question, my issue with the Edo people is this. Somebody cannot reveal a lot of things about a person because they've now settled. They want to fight for their common greedy and wicked benefits. They will not play on the mind of the gullible Nigerians who do not think. I always say it every time and every day. The issue I have with Nigerians is this, especially my Edo people. They don't think. Whatever thing you tell them in the morning, when you start doing the opposite in the evening, because they don't think to remember those things, they forget so easily, and they will just play along. My leader. Foolishly, they play along.
Not only Edo
No,
people.
our own in Edo State, I'm mainly particular about the Edo State, is so annoying.
We always
Why is annoying?
we are very quick
Why is annoying? Because we are
to
so
already
quick to forget.
the past. Yes.
Because we
Yes.
have a lot, and my issue why I'm so particular about Edo State is that my issue with them now, a lot of these people are educated youth. When I mean educated youth, they went to school. And I begin to ask myself, what is the purpose of going to school without having the brain, the head to think? What is the purpose of requiring the education? And you are still being very foolish, playing foolishly to and just playing like a nobody to these people. How can somebody just deceive you anyhow, play you to the right, play you to the left, play you to the center, and use you anyhow the way they want? And the next thing they can tell you to do this, you do it foolishly. This is see, there is no word. Somebody like me can never believe anything that comes from Oshomole, and I have my reasons. I have a lot of reasons. Even if I have somebody in mind before that, I will say I will vote for, I will even be with. Once I see Oshomole supporting that person, automatically I will go away from that person
It doesn't really
because
matter. It doesn't
because
matter. Oshomole, you should remember that Oshomole was the one that brought Governor Obaseki to Edo State. So it
you know
doesn't
what?
matter.
Do you know what I'm saying? The
Mm,
reason is he said on camera that made him brought Obaseki to to politics,
mm.
and Obaseki has played in that line. Now he is now angry. Why? Nobody knows. The question is this: he said Edo State, Edo State cannot afford another politician because when they will come, then people come to government as that when he's giving them money, Godwin, he was calling his name. He said Godwin will be angry. So Edo State cannot afford another politician like him. That's why he brought Godwin in because of the amount of debt and a lot of things, the way the state was going. Before
Yes.
Oshomole, before Oshomole, Edo State was not among the first among the top 10 in terms of debt in Nigeria. But when he was leaving office, the only state after Lagos is Edo because of all the billions of dollars, all the money he borrowed. Now as we speak. Edo State, as we speak to today, Edo State the second most indebted state in Nigeria after Lagos State. Go check, the records are there. Before Oshomole, Edo State was not even in the top 10.
Because
Now,
you know why? The revenue, land revenue that he gave to certain people in the state. You understand me? The money coming from the land revenue would have been okay or enough for them to develop the state instead of borrowing money. You know,
that's where some people made money from now. That's where some
it,
people build their
that's
mansions,
what I'm
hotels,
saying.
and everything for. And
You
those are
just
the people clamoring to today to put Obaseki away from power because they want to continue, because they don't have life outside of politics. I
it's
say
just
it every day.
it's,
99%, 99.9% of the people fighting this governor today do not have a life outside of politics. Who when he who wanted to become a governor, even as a deputy governor after him, he bluntly turned against Odubu, never allowed him to become a governor. He said they will go, and he called Odubu all sort of names too. This man never left the party APC. Instead, he stayed loyal to the party because he believed on the party. Now you had somebody who said he's a founding member of APC. Yes, it's a founding member. I agree. We know how he started. You know, we're all part of the of AC, and then before everything. The question is this: let's ask if somebody who was a founding member who is supposed to know the ideology of the party because he couldn't get what he wanted from the party. He left the party because he did no longer believe in the ideology of the party. He now left to move to another party to fight for governorship in the platform of that party. Now he lost in that party. He is now coming back. You say he's coming back again. The same party he said he did no longer believe in the ideology. That's why he left to go and
and
run in
that's
the platform of another party. You
for
are
me that
coming back to the same party now, not even up to a year. You are not looking, the National Party and some of these people are not looking at the likes of Odubu, who has been loyal, and the likes of the only person I have among them there who I can say is really loyal is Odubu, who has been there. since he became a member of the party. Though he went to House of Rep then under PDP, but he became a member of the APC. He has been there. He has never decamped. He has been loyal because he believed in the ideology of the party. He did not believe on the people. You are not coming back to Isaiah who just joined the party, not even up to 8 months. And even the way he joined the party is not even right. There is even something there that is not right. Because he joined the party without him joining from his ward. You don't join a party at the national level or at the state level. If you want to join a party, I'm a member of the APC. According to the APC constitution, you join your party in your ward. It is your ward that registers you. Before you even talk of after your ward, you now talk of your local government. Before you begin to talk of your constituency and all that. Not somebody you took to the level, state level, and say you were welcoming. Without your ward chairman wasn't there, your local government party chairman wasn't there, nor even the recognized state chairman. It wasn't there. You took the person because you are the national party chairman, and you did it. What somebody did not do during his tenure as a governor.
Exactly.
Oyegu was the APC National Party chairman. The Oyegu only concentrated on the federal level. He never interrupted anything in the state level.
Exactly.
And when Oyegu was even the party, sometimes when I look at Oshomole, I laugh. Sorry to say, some people might say I'm being tribalistic here. I don't care.
Oyegu is seriously opposing Adams Oshomole. Oyegu.
Right I don't now. Care what anybody will say, whether he said I'm tribalistic or not, or that. When Oyegu was the national party chairman of the APC, his first visit to Edo State, Oshomole never came to welcome him. I was there. The Oshomole never came. He took the Oredo local government chairman then, Osaro Obaze, was the one that came to welcome him to his state. One, Oyegu is senior to him in everything, whether in politics, whether in age, whether in everything. When Oyegu was a governor some years ago, Oshomole has never dreamt of even becoming a governor or even becoming a politician. Oyegu was already there. Oyegu was visiting Edo State for the very first time as a national party chairman. The very first time. Who came to welcome his Baze, he took him to Orokpotaho. That was where he was welcoming. Oshomole wasn't there. He didn't send his deputy or send anybody down, whether like a aide or anybody to go and welcome him. That's it was since then I started taking a close look at Oshomole. I started watching him closely. Then I started thinking, what is really the challenge of this man? What issue did you have with the Edo people or Oyegu as a person? Nobody knew. Till now, Oyegu never even interrupted him with all the power, federal power and all that. Even Oyegu is the first party chairman to win a sitting president, to win an election, a sitting president, defeated a sitting president. Oyegu never did anything. He played at the national level, concentrated there, never forced anything on him as a governor. Oyegu is from the May majority. When we're talking about May majority, so he has what he could do. He didn't do anything. Why you now that is more from a May minority from the state, who just came from nowhere? People believed you because of your so-called, I would say so-called. Let permit me to use the word so-called not true integrity. A lot of people believed on him then, and they supported him. Thought he could do things right. One man, one vote. He brought it. Say no to God. For that reason, he fought all the Edo South bigwigs, the likes of Egbenedion, the likes of Ogbemudia. He fought all of them and said yes. Say no to God, Father. The Anene and all that. Why do you now want to become overnight what you fought against? And the people you fought against are elders in this land, people who have paid their dues in the land, people who have name in the land, people who have done something. You just came out from nowhere, from the main minority. And my anger is the people is using to do all these things are all the Edo South people. People who are supposed to rally around and be one, to be able to do things rightly. They are the one fighting and doing all these things for him. Because a lot of them are easily deceived. Give them money, give them position. They will forget about their brother and they forget about where they are coming from. And begin to dance to the tune of even an outsider. Go and look at any time they are doing anything. If you want to use anything about anything, it is those South people who use this for that.
Yes, hold on. Let me quickly read some of their comments here. Thank you all for commenting. Wow, there are a lot of comments here. Nigeria Media Reports. Thank you. I saw what you wrote here. There are lots here. Let's quickly go through this. comments before we come back again. Okay, Austin. Obaseki is the best governor of Edo State, said Nigeria media reports. I'm reading. Because his pen is to make Edo State perfectly good and move forward. Yes, it is. It is. He's a wonderful governor. It's so sad that people are treating him this way. Honestly, it's so sad.
And one of, so sorry to say, one of the main reasons why I'm even supporting him. You see why a lot of them came together now. They gang up like the gang up of winches against Obaseki. If they don't get it this time, these 4 years, if they don't get it this time, a lot of them, their political career would be totally ended. Because you know what? After this 4 years, the truth is this: if Obaseki completes his 8 years in office, and if he decide to switch the support and Ishaman to become the governor, which the former governor and now the National Party chairman is not really happy about, because he fought the people from the Asian people for his 8 years. When they are supposed to even be the speaker, he didn't give it to them, fighting them and doing others. A lot of things they are not that I don't know. Even the traditional ruler there at that time, where even our Oba at that time went to the national federal level to even talk to even the president to see how they can solve his issue with the traditional ruler. Then he never listened. Nothing happened. It took Obaseki now to reinstate the traditional ruler. The traditional ruler, it took Obaseki for somebody to just rubbish a whole traditional ruler anyhow. And he feels he's God. When he was elected, you are rubbishing somebody who is not elected. He was born into it. Apart from even that alone, the likes of all of them that are just doing all this nonsense now about fighting the governor. If the power now switched to the Ishan for the 8 years, their political career would have been ended. 4 plus another 8, which is 12. If you add 12 years to their year, they will be too old. And if the Edo people, when many Edo people really want things to really go well, let everybody do everything possible to make sure Obaseki returns. Why? Whatever thing he has done now, he needs to finish the work, where they will totally wipe out all these talks, wipe out all these people who think the Edo State Treasury belongs to them, that they are the one that owns Edo State, that they can do whatever they want to do with it. You see, a lot of young politicians will now need to come out from the state in the next 4 years. If all these old people who has been there since 1999, either one has been there from 1999, in all the government, PDP, APC, he has been there holding different positions. Let him go. He's a lawyer. Let him go to the court and go and get a life and leave politics alone. These people have held different positions and all that. Let them, the ones that they stole is enough. Let them go and get a life and work. Politics is not a career. Politics is not what you do and you retire and you want to take it and you leave it. It's not an inheritance. If the state belongs to everybody, let them go and get a life. I just wish and pray that all the Edo people will go beyond Obaseki and let them retire. Do you see the kind of people that are even fighting and say they want to take the state away from Obaseki? Let me ask Edo people one question. Let you ask them whenever they are talking. Ize-Iyamu was with Lucky for 8 years. What's Ize-Iyamu legacy in Edo State? Can anybody supporting Ize-Iyamu now come out to tell me? If they want to engage me in anything, let them. I'm ready for any of them. Let them show me Ize-Iyamu legacy in Edo State for the 8 years he was with Lucky. He was the chief of staff before he became SSG. Let them show me his legacy. He never even recognized. He never even said he was from Oriomo for the 8 years he was with Lucky. It was when he was now fighting to become a governor. He needed to come from that was when he now decided to go to Oriomo to now start claiming he's from Oriomo. Ask him for his 8 years during Lucky's time. Did he say he was from Oriomo? No. What's his legacy in Edo State? None. When he was a minister for years, what is his legacy in the states, or even in the local government, or even in his ward where he came from? No. Samson Osagie was there 8 years in House of Assembly, 8 years in House of Rep. Even in the ward where he came from in Wonder, what's his legacy? No. Idawagbo has been in government since 1999. What can he show? Nothing. So when you look at all of them, especially all of them that say they have Morion plus the Chachariabe, all of them, let all of them come out and say this has been their legacy. This has been what they've been doing. And this is the reason why they want Edo people to trust them with the wealth of Edo State. None of them. And you are coming out to tell me you want to gather all of them. And you now see talks. A talk coming out to be talking, granting press interview, saying that they don't want a governor like this, a governor like this, a governor. It's the biggest joke of the century. That somebody, a talk is now one of their spokesman. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. I look at it when I look at them. Sometimes I shake my head. Let all of them come out. This is what Obaseki has not done. This is what we will do better. And show me where you have done it before, with the position you've handled before I can trust you with the treasury of Edo State. Every one of them has handled one position or the other. They said Obaseki has not done anything at all. Let them tell us what they will do better. And as they are telling us that, they will also tell us the position they had before, what they did with it. If they can tell us what they did with it, then we'll begin to think, then we can talk further. And let's be very truthful. One of the biggest scams in the history of Edo State is Oshomole as a person. How can you say on camera that you put over 1.something billion for them to bring equipment from to the hospital, and as we speak to today, what they commissioned since 2015 or so till now, the equipment is not there, and the hospital is still not for. How can you commission an hospital and immediately it was under lock and key? Sometimes you need to ask myself, or maybe we didn't go to school. That's it. Maybe they are the one that are the professors and everything. You commission an hospital. When you are commissioning a house or any project, it means that the project is going to be open for use immediately. You brought the President Buhari to come and commission a hospital, and later you locked it after commissioning it. Is that not the biggest scam in the history of the state? The 1 something billion he said on camera that they have paid the first instrumental. They was going to bring the equipment. Where's the equipment till date? Do you know till today it did not publish how many billions of naira that was spent in that hospital as we speak till date? Let's be very, very sincere. Has he brought the equipment when they are saying he abandoned Oshomole's project? Has he brought the equipment that he paid that money for, close to about 2 billion naira? Has the equipment been brought? No. Then you are now coming out to be telling us all nonsense. That's nonsense. If it was a sane society, in a place where things are done well, somebody like that would have been arrested and be jailed by now. By now, as we speak.
For the question somebody just directed to me that do you think Obaseki will win the primaries? Definitely yes. Of course, he will win the primary because he's overdue for it. He deserves it. Okay, he deserves it. And it's so painful that such a good governor is facing whatever he's facing in Edo State right now. He deserves
it's very funny.
And President Buhari also endorsed him. President Buhari already endorsed him, and the governor of Ondo State as well. So definitely he's going to win the primaries. So what Oshomole is doing to Obaseki now, somebody did that the same thing to him when he was the governor of Edo State.
We know how many people he arrested. We know. We I'm an APC member, and I'm also somebody who was into journalism for years. I know a lot of things that went under Oshomole, and I know a lot of things that happened to as far as where some commissioners were sacked because of the issue of his second term when the issue of certificate came on board. And because of that, me and you now can never get our primary 6 certificate again, our result again, where they went to burn a whole Ministry of Education because of the issue of a certificate. As we speak today, later the commissioner then were sacked. The same commissioner then who was sacked, all of them are still clamoring now for. So now when I look the way these people just play policy and they begin to call us, they begin to call themselves fools and not we. They think that we easily forget things and we don't think at all. Because if they really know that we think and we are people who think and do things right now, they will not be behaving the way they will not be behaving.
Things that he said about Isaiah Yamo, and today people are using those words against Isaiah Yamo. Now, how can you paint Isaiah Yamo to be a Messiah now after condemning him in the past?
It's also funny.
How can you paint him as a Messiah today? That is the problem I have with Adams Oshiomhole.
When someone is desperate, he can reduce himself to any length to get whatever he wants to get. When a desperate man can do anything, and that's what he is at this time.
Exactly. Desperate. He's desperate.
That's the reason he forgot everything both he and Oshiomhole did to themselves. This man said something about you as a person, and he said that it is not just mere accusation. He gave facts. He gave the reason why you cannot practice anywhere today in Nigeria as a lawyer because of what you did. He gave fact that you were rusticated at the time from Uniben. That it took years, and he said all these things with his fact. He gave his reasons, and later he said you are a thief, you are this, and now you also have a case before the courts. And now you are not coming back telling me so person is so this is this. It shows that both you and the person, the both of you have something wrong with yourselves. That we Edo people should not take you people serious. The only people that is taking you people serious are people like you people who do not also think, who are also in their league. Because it takes only a thief, it takes only a liar, and it takes only somebody who is also in their league to also believe in them. For a person like me, I'm not in their league. I can't play with them, and I cannot believe on such people. I like him as a person. Outside of politics, outside of this governor, I see him. I can respect him as a father, as an uncle, as an elder, as a pastor, and all that. But to come and say putting Edo State Treasury in the hand of such an individual, God forbid, I can never support such a thing. That would be me. If I have all the power to do it, I can never. I can never, and I will never, even if I'm sleeping, I will never do it.
Isaiah Yamo is not fit to handle Edo Treasury. It's not fit. It's not even close at all. It's not close. So the best thing, he should focus on law, or he should focus on this.
He can't focus on law because Oshiomhole said why he cannot practice, and has he really be practicing? No. It's a very big question. It's not me that said. Oshiomhole said, I never knew before until Oshiomhole said that he studied law and this is why he cannot practice. He said it and he said everything on that. And really, if somebody called me and say, yes, I am this, I should make the proof. I should prove the person's right. So proving the person wrong. If I want to prove the person wrong, what do I need to do? I do what you say I cannot do. So that I'll prove you wrong to the whole world that yes, if you say I cannot practice, I'm really practicing. That's the truth.
Somebody who cannot practice law, and he is bringing him now to the people of Edo State that he will be the Messiah to run the state. Never.
Not just only practicing law. He said he did not give him an office when he was the governor because he is a thief, that he does not trust him to put anything in his hand because he's not trustworthy. If he as a governor then could not place a little position on his hand then because he did not trust him, he calls him a thief. Why do you now want to put the treasury of the states in his hand now when you could not trust him there? What now changed? What has changed overnight?
Isaiah Yamo can never be the governor of Edo State. Never.
What has changed overnight? Is it that he's now practicing as a lawyer? Or maybe he's no longer the thief you said that the thief you said he is or he was then. Maybe he's now another different person entirely. Because first of all, this is somebody who has not been consistent in the party for up to even 5 years. Today is there. is here. See, first of all, I don't know how people think. For me, I don't. Sometimes I begin to think. I begin to ask me. I don't know how some Nigerians think. First of all, if somebody cannot be consistent with one party or with one thing in life, why do you not think you put the weight of your state in the hand of such a person to handle? Exactly. I really don't understand. Just like a woman saying she's in love, she wants to marry a man who has not been consistent in dating her for a year. This man keeps jumping from one woman to another. After he has played round, and you don't even trust him. He just come one day, just saw you and say, "I want to marry you." The and same man who has not been, he's still playing around. The same man who has not been consistent in dating you for just 1 year, and you not jump. If you jump into his hand, whatever thing you see, go break. It will not break the heart. It will scatter the heart.
No.
So such a person has not been consistent. You want me to come and put my stuff? No, that's a joke. That is not even a joke. It's an insult to even suggest such a person. If it's where things are done well, this is the reason why I love the white people. If it's where things are done well, for they are taught to even say they want to settle and begin to say they want to talk of even Edo State governorship, the people will call them and they will totally deassociate themselves from them, because they will begin to call the two of them criminals. I don't know. This is why I laugh about our judicial system in Nigeria, about our law. This case has been in court. The case of this money laundering, this 700 million that has been in court for over many years, from one day to another. I don't blame them anyway. At least the APC national chairman said, if you are a thief before, when you become an APC member, you become a saint. You are no longer a thief again. The last of Akpabio did it. Akpabio now is free. A lot of them have done it before. Even the former Delta State governor. Yeah, what's his name now? After Ibori, what's his name again? Oduaga did it. Oduaga, when he became an APC member, it was free. Even the present Senate, the deputy Senate president, the one that stole maize. You see how they've rubbished APC. You see how they've rubbished APC as a political party. Somebody stole the maize. It gave Nigeria an international disgrace. Not even a national, an international disgrace. And such a person later was brought to become a deputy senior president. That's an insult to us as a people. That's an insult. He stole the maize in Nigeria.
Nigeria. Where and how?
Sometimes when I just think about the country Nigeria, I just begin to laugh. Because there's something, it's a joke. Nigeria is a joke.
The politics is too crazy in Nigeria.
And so the person became a Senate president. So in APC today, they only reward thieves. They reward touts. That's what they did. That's what they mean. Because if not that, even the APC chairman said he knows a lot of how he plugged the Edo State into debt now. He was a nobody. He never had a house. He never housed a building in Edo State when he came to when he came into Edo State politics. But go and look at his mansion in his hometown. He never had a building when he came into politics.
He enriched himself and his.
He never had a building. How much do governors earn salary? How come he was able to build a house over many millions of naira in his hometown? Had the house also in GRA. How much is his salary? So it takes only a thief to also start another thief.
They said he also established a kind of a police station close to his house.
I've gone there in this place no more. The police station is very, very close. Yes, I mean the police station there. Then also look at his house. His house is one of the biggest houses in Benin. It's not a house. It's a house. Which word would I use? It's not a house. People shouldn't be calling Oshomole's house a house. That place is not. That place is not a house. That's more than a house. That's more than a house. When you go to a place, you see there are a lot of things I won't like to talk about now. If I say a lot of things, do you know every weekend what they used to do in his hometown? You know a lot of how many of those are young girls from schools or different schools that they used to enter them and they waste Edo State money for saying they want to do all sort of nonsense. Now those same people are seeing we don't longer see all those nonsense again. If I tell you a lot of nonsense that they did for 8 years, you cry with our money, you cry.
It's a joke.
This is not what they told me. This is what I know.
So is there Iyamu should just step down? Step down because there's no way for him. No way.
If it's Odubu that they said is running with him, if it's Odubu, I will say yes. I don't have a problem. It's Odubu's right as a party man, as a party loyalist, to say he wants to also give it a try. Not Ize Iyamu, not Ize Iyamu at all. Not Ize Iyamu at all. Not Ize Iyamu at all. Not, I say it, not Ize Iyamu at all. When did he join APC? And he's not even trustworthy. A man who cannot stay with one party can never be trusted. That's the reason why I never supported the likes of Atiku. If you cannot stay with one party, I don't like Buhari. Me. We want Nigerians they never to vote Buhari, they never listen. Now, all of them eyed open. All of them, they see what they do. If they also made mistake, come out is a Iyamu for power. Can't give them. Let them see come and be begging later for who will give them money. Make them bring talks. Let all of them think. The one the talks are all clamoring for now, clapping for, that they say yes, he must come to power. If he now comes to power and he bring all these talks, you think the state will still longer be free the way it used to be. When they work out for ring round, they blow guy, they throw away hand up and down. Nobody they obstruct them again. They beat them the way that they beat them before again. There was a time in Benin. Where they will buy a bus. They will say the boss, so person sister. People collecting tax, they'll buy where they collect all those agbo where they'll buy bus, it's also person sister, they'll write and put. They oppress people for this. Those one, that one not, they don't collect ticket for that one hand. If I tell you a lot of things that I do.
The oppression was obvious. The oppression that was existing in Edo State those days was too obvious.
You know how many people that they will slap?
Only the governor that was able to reduce the power of those people who were suppressing other citizens in the state. Only Governor Obaseki. It's so sad that people are treating him this way. Governor Obaseki is the governor of the people.
People can treat him this way because majority of the Edo people decide to let somebody who's fighting for them.
Yes.
Decide to let him down. That's the issue.
No more oppression in Edo State anymore. You can walk freely in Benin City. Nobody will stop you. Nobody, even though someone stop you now, it must be a police illegal way of stopping vehicles in Benin City. Nobody will illegally jump into your car. Nobody
let me remind them.
With land tax.
Let me remind some of them. Sorry, let me quickly remind some of them of some things. Some people that are crying now was with Oshomole when they went to the former VC of Uniben, Oshodi. They went there without even telling him giving any notification to destroy his building. Said it was a Edo State government land and all that. And they went there, they ganged up, they went there as the talks then that went to scatter there. They didn't cry then. They were sealing up the small business in Benin then because of tax. Then themselves had hotels in Benin. They never paid tax. When the government now went to open their book and talk to them to come and pay, they started crying. The government has no right to seal anybody's hotel. The government is pursuing them because of politics. I want to ask all of them, are they the only ones that are in APC that are not supporting the governor? How come the governor has not shut down the business of those people? How come the governor has not done anything to those people? Why will some people just think because they were in the good book of the former governor there, you are sending boys to go and collect tax from other people, while you yourself, you were not paying? That's to tell you the kind of people we have in the states. And the kind of person that was the governor then that supported these people. He empowered them to a level where for the very first time in the history of Edo State, thugs, cultists were now working with mobile police, with police, having official cars under the state government. I cried for Edo State. They cried for Edo State.
Exactly.
Where they will stage a protest, a government will do something. It will stage a protest and give money to people to lead the protest. Government is proposing something, you will give money to people to also lead the protest, and they are protesting about it. They were acting movies, and you think that they were doing this. The same person who said he is a labor man, is for civil servant, but came to bastardize the civil service in Nigeria, where a old Major Oloye, who has never worked in the civil service, was just totally just promoted because of one issue that they did, and all after he was arrested, he brought back. You made him a permanent secretary when he never served in civil service commission anywhere. You now made him a permanent secretary. He bastardized everything that has to do with civil service. I get and people listening to him or take his words serious. I just look at people who listen to him or take him serious, people who do not even know what they're doing. Somebody who's supposed to be the friend of the civil servant. Some local government in Edo State were owing up to 2 years. They never paid salaries. People were working, were owed up to 2 years. I have friends that work in a lot of them, they were not paid salaries. He sacked a lot of teachers because you didn't organize anything that has to do with training for anything. You are coming to be telling people this. When you yourself know that you have an issue with your primary sis, you were talking about teachers this who couldn't do this.
Who told you that Obaseki cannot speak Benin language? Who said that?
Is that what you need to run a state?
Obaseki cannot speak Benin language.
Is that what you need? Is that what they need to run the state? Is that what they need to run the state?
Listen, my brother. The other day, Governor Obaseki was in a market. So many times I've observed him speaking pidgin English fluently with market women. If he can speak pidgin English that well, he can also speak Benin language. I've never heard him speaking Benin language, but I know for sure that Governor Obaseki, as far as he's a Benin man. Come on now. I think he was born and raised in Benin. Okay, do not say he cannot speak. Okay, does that justify what is going on in Edo State right now?
Ask them. Do you need to use Benin to make any speech anyway? Is Edo language? Is Edo language the adopted language in Edo State that everybody must speak Edo language? Is it the official language in our state?
Exactly.
Or in Nigeria? This is why I said a lot of Nigerians went to school, but they don't think, they don't have the right knowledge, they don't have the right brain to think. How dare you say somebody says it doesn't have to speak Benin? Do you need to speak the Edo language to know how to manage the resources of a state?
Exactly.
The one who can speak Benin, they took all Edo State revenue, took all our treasures and put in their pockets, and now they feel that they are too big, that they are bigger than a whole duly elected governor of a state, that they can come anywhere to insult him.
Do you need Edo language to manage a state? Does that even make any sense?
It's really it doesn't add at all. That stuff doesn't add at all.
Let me see the person that left such comments.
It doesn't add at all. It doesn't add. You don't need Edo language to do anything. What he needs is the wisdom, not Edo language.
There are certain people that always follow my live broadcast and leave comments on my videos. I don't want to mention people's name. You know, please, you guys should stay away from my channel, for Christ's sake, okay?
It's really funny. Really funny. The truth, we as a people need to settle down and think about whether we really want a state that work, or we should return things back to how it used to be. I know a lot of people who used to be in business, having some kind of small business, that a lot of them were totally went packing. They were packed out of business because of the kind of revenue, kind of the way they were troubling them with their revenue there and all that. Some of them were even beaten anyhow in their own shop.
Exactly.
Some of them were even old enough to even be the parents and grandparents of these people.
Land taxes for the vulnerable.
They were beating them anyhow.
And the
worst thing, of them was even injured.
And the worst out of all, these people who were facing this oppression in Edo State are the vulnerable group in Edo State, okay? Poor women who are selling tomatoes in the street of Benin will be oppressed. Who is that? Who is that? So the only governor that came openly and reduced the power of those people who believe that they have power and they are ready to suppress other citizens. Governor Obaseki is saying no to such people in Edo State. We should be happy and jubilating now. Anytime I visit Benin, I always have freedom when I'm walking in Benin. Nobody is no threat anymore. Nobody is trying to harm me when I'm walking through Ring Road, or when I'm inside my car, somebody will jump in and try to ask me for money. If I don't pay a certain amount of money, they will take me to wherever. So we have that liberty in Edo State now, freedom.
Let me even tell you something before I forget. If you look at every of this, all of them just doing whatever that they are all doing now, you settle down and begin to look, and you begin to look about the kind of interest they have towards the people of the state. We in the state, the people, are the people really angry with the governor? No. We saw a woman who only put something on a walkway where a sitting governor then told her, a widow, to go and die because she put something to go and take something to go and pass on, to go and die. He said it on camera.
Yeah, I saw that's that. Number one. I saw the video.
That's number. I'm not the one saying that. It's the person that said something himself.
After people, the public, were outraged about the comment, he later invited the woman to the government house, where he apologized and offered
before that, yes, the PDP already called and settled the woman, encouraged her, because they ordered before they now gave her a position and all that. You see, to discredit, they say if you want kids to give dog bad name. What did they do? You see, when they were putting where there was fire in almost all the markets in Edo State, I told them that some people are just doing this thing to discredit the governor. A lot of people did not believe me. But after they went and bought all this Ayilala in the one that happened at Ekiosa, you saw those people that went away with goods. They brought back the goods. Since they did a lot of things, have you seen them put fire in any other market again? Beneath them? If people can go that low, that they went that far to be setting fire in all the market, burning the properties of the citizens, people that are just going to the market, living on their daily say, they burn their goods just because to discredit a sitting government because they want power by all means. And you want me, who have sense, I don't know if the other people where they think to now to now forget everything and say make it can't take over, basically go sit down. Somebody who can be so desperate to begin to set fire in different markets just because they want to discredit a governor, they wanted to give him bad name. You expect me to now see something reasonable with those set of people?
They are not going to succeed for sure.
Or the one that said on camera that the person is not a politician. They want a politician that when they go to visit him or they go to government, you'll be calling them by their name because he knows them. The calling them by their name in means is not only calling them and say John. What he said is that calling them by their Ghana must go, giving them Ghana must go. The way Oshomole said he was doing that, obviously he was not happy about when he was the governor. That when they come to government, when we go government, we know how many of those, even young girls that used to come to government house then to come and be doing or guy in government house. They know how a lot of them were flocking out and doing a lot of things in government house. Then I know how they put a lot of some tribe in different positions there in government house. Then now, and Idoma is there. You are doing everything just to fight him and all that. For what? What was he seen? Let them come out and tell me Just 3 things. This is the major 3 reasons why they don't want Obaseki to resume. Something reasonable, not whatever they do. If they talk about that hospital again, Oshomole by now was supposed to be in jail. Where's the 1.something billion? He said he used to get the equipment. Where's the equipment? He said they have paid that money. That's what he said on camera before the president. The one he paid for. Where are the equipment till date? Where are the equipment today? Is it done anywhere in the world?
We're
when
gonna
you commission a project, and after commissioning the project, you locked up the project. You locked it up. If the governor didn't do anything at all, if the governor did not do anything at all, if it's only removing talks from the streets
alone,
and also retiring some of these greedy politicians who think that the state belongs to them, if that's the only 2 things he has been able to do, if he wants to remain there for the next 10 years, I will let him remain there.
Exactly. We are here to
support. Because
Edo
State, the talks, the level, the power the former governor gave to these talks before was too much.
Oh my God.
Too much.
Oh my God. I was born and raised in Edo State. The first time in the history of Edo State, from my own experience, I don't know about my grandparents or my father or my parents. I'm talking about my own era. The first time that Edo State is free of talks. First time in the history of Edo State that a governor came in to reduce their power to 0 in certain level of the society. So with that alone, we should all come together and support this governor. We should also be praying that after Governor Obaseki, we should also have another governor that will continue with the legacy of Governor Obaseki in Edo State. That is the prayer we should be praying for right now. If this governorship goes to the hands of Oshomole and his people, we are going back, we are revising back to the past. Okay, we are going back again to Oshomole's regime when he took Edo State, 80% of the affairs of Edo State in the hands of Agberos. Okay, so that is what we should be praying for, that after Governor Obaseki, somebody who is going to be the governor will continue with the legacy of Governor Obaseki. We are tired. We are tired of experiencing talks, managing the state for governors. Okay, you can walk freely in Edo State now. You can drive freely in Benin Ring Road. Nobody will jump inside your car. That is the type of governance we want in Edo State. I'm here to support Governor Obaseki, and after his term as the governor, second term, we also pray that a better governor will lead the state. Otherwise, if we put the governorship in the hands of Oshomole and Ize-Iyamu, wherever his people, honestly, we are going back again. We are going back to the era of Agbero managing Edo State for us. And we don't want that. We are in 21st century, people.
They are managing it for themselves. Managing it for themselves, not for us. They were managing it for themselves and keeping our money for themselves. This is what